Hi besties, how you guys doing? I think today is a lot more better. This is a lot more better. Go ahead, hit the like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Yeah, today we have Sponono. I thought as much. You know that I actually posted this thing early. Meanwhile, can you see our middle finger? Can you guys see our engagement ring? I thought I was the only one who has been seeing it. Sponono also spotted it, and when Ash was asked, she was saying, "No, it's not what you think, but the truth." I don't know how many of you watched when I dropped that update that she's secretly engaged. How many of you watched it? Please drop in the comment. Let me know if you watched that update that I dropped that Ash is secretly engaged. But Uyanda's eyes are very sharp. He's been seeing this thing like eyes. Like, people don't. I know that some people love wearing rings, but people don't randomly wear this. You just want on that finger. I know there are some people who love use can see in other fingers index, but this one, hey guys, we are engaged here. If you don't know, so you guys, welcome back to this update because today I think if you actually was there, you know that it was very refreshing, not like yesterday. No bad blood, no negative energy. Everything was just moving on, we're vibing. Yeah, I think they had gone on a break because and the video is very long. Today's one is 43 minutes. Yo, is it 43 or 47? I think 43 minutes long. I can't believe I watched it. My data is gone. Please make sure you're watching my video to the end. Please make sure you guys watch and hit the like button for me and subscribe if you have not. Yeah, very long, even longer than the one she had with Sweet Guluva. So where are we going to start from? Uyanda is I don't know. Before both of them in the house didn't have any. There was no banter. There was no bad energy between them in the house. So everything just flowed. And I love that Ash was able to pinpoint, some silent things, where people have been just talking about. Now, guys, when Baja spotted this our engagement, Ashley was trying to shy away from it. Maybe they have some explanations to give us. Akona is very fast, honestly. I can't believe that he has run to put an engagement on that hand just to make sure that this one belongs to me. Now, coming to the interview proper, a lot of questions were asked. At least one thing I got to know that his grandma, the other time on the TO, it was said that he's lost his grandma, and we are all like, yo, what's going on? What's happening? I think he said it's actually from the is it the uncle's wife or something. Yeah, he's also a grandma, so it's the uncle's side. Okay, but his main grandma that he's always talked about in the house is his dad's mom, and she's okay, health and healthy, and he has very more close relationship with her. But one thing I noticed that she was allowed, Ashley allowed him to ask his own questions, and people are like, oh. They didn't allow Akona to ask questions. Yo. Because when there was a time Ashley was, she was as if it was an outro. When you're done with a video, like you're closing it. Okay. So I was like, yeah, this thing is going to be very short. Maybe at that time it was still at 20 something minutes. But next thing she said, oh, we are back. So I felt at that point maybe they went on a break and came back. Now what was pinpointed? A lot of things, Jojo, the whole juice and ice cream situation, the whole eviction. Then the issue of if I didn't leave the house, who would have won? I don't know if Ashley can remove it from. I don't want her to be asking them that question. But I know maybe probably she brought it in because he's Uyanda and he's one of the very strong contenders. So guess that was why he brought that she brought that question in because I feel it's not necessary. Yeah, the show has ended, and just like Uyanda rightly said, the show is unpredictable because last season we were thinking, okay, Liema was going to win, and boom, it wasn't Liema. Oh, Yolanda was going to win, and boom, disqualification. Oh, before it got to Meg Jr. Now, let's address the whole being in a ship is going to help and not going to help. Now, the young man asked the question that there is this thing all over social media. Remember, Sipesike went to Yolanda's podcast and she also mentioned that being in a ship, you have a great advantage, la 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 la. So they actually had to refer to these people who actually watched the show. She mentioned Tattoo and Gash, says Kyosi was with two different people, that's the bank and Gemi, Liam and Jared, who else? And they did not win. These people were in the ship and they did not win. There was Zip Happy, there was Zinaye. So she doesn't really think that being in the ship makes you stand a chance at winning, because at the end of the day, it's all about how God has planned it for you and His grace. At the end of the day, it's not whether you have a big fan base or whether you're in a ship. You can be in a ship and nobody likes you. And she said in the house, it's not just herself and Guluva. There were some other small sheep. So being in a ship, it doesn't really think it has a great impact. It may be on the outside, especially when the masses love you guys or the viewers love you, but then she doesn't really think it helps. Then Ash went far to ask him about his girl. Mm, I don't think all is well there, because me, I feel if they were still on, it's close ended, right? Or is it open? It's close ended that you can say yes or no. I just said, okay, no, I'm not with her. Yes, I'm with her. Well, the way he was, I respect her a lot. I don't want to talk about that. And I was thinking, are you really sure Uyanda is still with this person? And the whole speculations of Joyanda, don't you guys think? I don't know. Though he was not able to answer that, he said there's nothing happening, and Ashley was asking him if he sees like a future, maybe they're going to be dating in a future. And but guys, the smile, the laugh, the way he giggled, there may be more. There may be more between himself and Jojo, but then I don't really know though. I don't really know. But like I said, we had actually also agreed that Asha has a very large fan base and she also stood a chance at winning. But it's just that the game is not something you can predict. It can go to anybody at any time. And for them, they used to think that once you are called to sit down, and then when Biggie say you are safe, you might think, these are the ones. So for him, he was actually looking at Nsuku having the largest fan base, because she was always the first that will be asked to see it, and not knowing that it's a different ball game on the outside. And him also asking Ash, if you think you hadn't left, with the level you are now, you think if you had stayed till finale, probably you would have kind of like you would have been higher than where you are now. And her response was cool, that God is the one that perfects all things, okay? So it's God that actually makes his plans for his people, and we just align. Okay, so it's just God's will for you to be at any point you are at every given time. It's just the way God wants it for you. Yeah, today's one was more, and the way they are hyping themselves, degree holders, degree. I'm like, okay, okay. You could see the intellect came to play. Yeah, you could see intellect at its peak. It was a refreshing atmosphere. It was no more of bands that really understood the assignments. Yeah, we Adam gave his best at the answers. Ashley was also very good with her questions, and everything blended well. And Uyanda was like, he would always want to come back again. Yes, anytime he's been called upon. And do you know one good thing? He even came with a chiller sponge. Can you imagine? He even came with a gift. He came with a gift. Yo, that's beautiful. And he offered it. Ash asked him to open one for her. And they also promoted Ash also indirectly promoting Jerry Chilla Sponge there, thanking Mark G, and like I just as a very good influencer. Yeah, Ashley is a very good brand influencer, honestly, because she uses every remember the last update I brought, I told you people that this outfit, I think that's what they're going to use for the ride with Cherry. I mentioned it if you watched it to the end. I mentioned it that putting on this tracksuit, this sportswear that Adidas brought for her today, marching towards the car. Honestly, I knew they were going for this, and I suspected it to be Yanda. Though there has been polls on the TL asking who do you want, Swiss, BK, Uyanda, Nate, and all. Yeah, people were still voting for Uyanda to come, some Swiss, some BK, some Nate, and there was a post of Uyanda I saw. Or was it a photo of him I saw at the back of the cherry? There was this post he made. When I saw it, all my mind went to, are you sure Uyanda is not our next guest? And boom. And unlike, actually normally post this around that kind, let's say past 10 p.m. sometimes, yeah. But tonight's one was earlier. Tonight's one came earlier than the previous ones. So by the time she put her out tonight again and all, I already knew that something was coming. So when I saw Uyanda, it didn't really come off as a surprise to me. It didn't come as a surprise. All thanks to him for at least gracing the interview or the podcast with a chiller's punch. Yeah, he's generous. That means he has a lot in his house. I've been an ambassador himself and BK. That's really, really beautiful. So he said he doesn't really make friends easily. And also in terms of he's still teaching. I think he's still in the educational sector, and he also wants to explore entertainment. So teaching is more like his profession, while this other one is more like a passion. So you just have to look for a way to balance the two. Yeah, you have to look for a way. And Ashley also promoted and said education is important, education is the key. At least go get the degree first, and after you can decide on whatever you want to do. So education is almost like the best. So make sure you go to school, get educated, then you can actually find yourself in the entertainment industry or whatever it is that you want to do. Honestly, it was really, really quite refreshing. It was really, but the way Ash was so happy when he mentioned that she really stood a chance at winning. She was like, "Yo," that very day, she and Guluva, she was like, "If I hadn't left the show, I would have won," and all and all. And I love what she said about Sweets here. She said, she understood that she wasn't close to Sweets, so at that point, you would actually go for the person you're close with. Yeah, if you're close to someone more than the other and being on that hot seat. It's just like on Love Island, I saw they told two islanders to choose among themselves who will be leaving the house or who will be staying. So at that point it was a hot seat, but that one thing was that Swiss did not nominate her. So maybe if he had nominated her, it would have been a different thing altogether. You're okay, so he really wants me out of the game. But he didn't nominate her. So it was not like he really wanted her out, but at that point when he had to choose between her and Suku and being that this one is not my friend, so he had no option. So guys, don't be surprised to see Swiss on that cherry ride with Cherry. I'm not going to be surprised because this one Asha still saying this. She has forgiven him, and we might be seeing him in the 8 day ride with Cherry. Well, it is what it is, guys. I think I really enjoyed it so well. I love the combination and that he was intellectually inclined. Yeah, seriously, I'm really super proud. Okay, I'll draw the curtains here for this video. Do I help to hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and share, drop your thoughts in the comments. I will come back to talk about this joy and that ship. Don't worry, guys. I'll definitely see you people in my next one. Bye.